cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting.
What's up, good people, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. I'm your host, Mickey 96, along with Freddie G, K Money, and Slash. Collectively, we are the Minded Men. I want everybody that's on YouTube to go out and subscribe and click the like button. Follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast and on IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. All right, and what's up, good people, and welcome back to another edition of Think Thursday. Today, I'm kind of sad because all this foolishness that's going on, people playing on people's graves and, just straight up disrespecting for people's graves and grave sites and, headstones, et cetera, et cetera. So today, I want to talk about disrespecting the dead. Now, there's many forms of it, I'm going to be honest with you. As I was looking this up and researching it, I'm finding out that the people that are dying that had requests, some of their requests were kind of disrespectful. Not just people visiting and vandalizing their graves, but the people that were passing away, they had special requests as they were passing. And then on top of that, the way people are being buried. So we're going to go over quite a few incidents here that I want to see if y'all agree with me. But the first thing I want to talk about, these ones that this YBC Dull is a rapper, 25-year-old rapper who goes by the name, his name is Abdul Vix. That's his real name. He went by the name YBC Dull because he was killed August 23rd. He was one of the ones dancing on people's graves and then getting killed. Rappers. There was a Memphis girl as well. She, the guy that was they both were rappers. The guy that she was dancing on the grave, he was dead, but she's a rapper as well. She danced on his grave or went to his grave, and then they killed her the next day.
So, what they call that is these are your ops.
Yeah, but the grave, they gone.
But those are their ops. So they're digging up their ops grave. They dancing on their ops grave. This is what the generation call this.
I don't understand. Your job is complete. Your ops is gone. What is the purpose of going back to a person that cannot respond to you, cannot fight back, can't do anything?
Well, remember,
and then blast it. Then you put it on Facebook.
That's right. It's a social media world. So they doing all of this for likes. Believe it or not, it's all to have the likes to show that this is something that they're doing for people to look at this. Very disrespectful.
It's just getting more and more disrespectful. Would you? I just don't get it. And then also Fulio, wasn't he the most recent one? Obviously Doe was August, so Fulio was around the same time.
Which one was digging up the grave?
They all were doing it.
They all was digging up the grave.
They all were doing it.
Yeah, see, that's disrespectful.
Now, they were all digging up. Now, didn't one of them piss on the grave?
That was Fulio.
Okay, so he didn't dig up the grave. He just pissed on the grave.
And vandalized it.
Okay, so stuff. All of them wasn't digging up the grave.
Yeah.
Just something.
I think the YB guy.
The YB guy.
He was the one digging up the grave.
Yeah.
And
they all go. I just
I think what happens, you touched on something, Slash, when you said social media.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people who vandalize graves, like if you're vandalizing a grave and you're putting it on social media, I think the next person be like, how can I outdo that?
I agree.
And then they say, okay, well, let me go piss on the grave. Mm-hmm. Then they say, well, damn, how can I outdo that? Well, let me go and dig it up. Mm-hmm. So I think that, yeah, they may be your ops or what they are your ops or whatever the case may be. But I think that in regards to what you were saying, kind of piggybacking off of what you were saying, Slash, I think that social media plays a part in it.
Yeah.
and they just want to outdo the person or people who's doing it themselves and just making them extra tough or whatever they're supposed to mean. Or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, some of these people are gang members, so I can't see nobody giving the orders to say, "Hey man, go dance on this."
Now these people are choosing to do this on their own. Nobody's telling them, "Hey, you go do this to this guy's grave." They doing this on their own.
Yeah, I agree with Freddie G. Though social media is the driving force to encouraging them to want to do this, and I do what the previous person did.
That's definitely the truth.
Exactly. Y'all know I know they've had singers. What about Elvis? Elvis ain't the gang member nothing, but they be. If I'm not mistaken, they messed with his grave before.
I think those are obsessed, crazed fans.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
It's a little different.
Yeah, leave people graves alone.
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
All right.
So Elvis's grave has been dug up?
I not dug up, but I want to say one of
with.
the famous. It may not have been Elvis. It could have been that other guy. They both married young girls.
Jerry
Lee
Lee
Lewis. It could have been the other guy. I want to say, but I'm not 100%. So I'm gonna say allegedly. One of them were tampered with, but I just don't understand why even the mummies that we dig up, leave that shit alone. That shit is there for a reason. Yeah, they be finding all kinds of trap stuff that be in there. Like they'll have like little booby traps, basically to keep us from doing it, but we still go in there and do it. We still go in there digging up graves like that.
That's more from a scientific perspective.
Doesn't matter. It's still disrespectful.
And I think it's important sometimes for that to be done because that is kind of a way that you learn more about the past.
Listen to me, man. If y'all get off work and you sleepy, I know it's a different type of sleep. And you know they say sleep is death's cousin. You know how they say that? It's evil cousin or whatever. If you sleeping regular and somebody wake you up, you don't want to be woken up. It's the same thing. You resting in peace. That's why it's called R.I.P. Leave people's stuff alone, man.
So let me ask you. Would you consider this a form of disrespect on someone's grave? If you and your homeboy have a friend, well, let's say me and you, Comedian 96.
Okay.
We got a good buddy. He passed away. He's buried. We miss him. And we used to be drinking buddies. So you and I go to the cemetery and we're going to pour out a little liquor. And we pour it on his grave. Is that a form of disrespect?
Oh, look, cool. He gonna ask me that question. Oh, cool. I know. I can't stand you for this, Freddie G. You wrong. It is. But it's. Oh, you dirty.
Why is it right? What makes it right?
I'm visiting a friend of mine that grew up with us and. We had fun memories, but we don't have to pour no liquor on his grave. We don't have to pour no liquor on his grave.
No, but people do it. But they never say that it's disrespectful.
Exactly. Times have changed. Back in the day when we used to drive in the car, and we used to treat graveyards or cemeteries like we did lightning. You know how your mom used to tell when it started thundering and lightning, turn them TV out, turn the lights out, y'all be quiet. Well, when we was in the car, we would always turn the radio down. Passing by the funeral home. We don't do that anymore. Yeah. I think the respect level has just been lost.
Exactly. I do think that that's a form of disrespect, Freddie G, as well as, just somebody out there, you take away pouring the liquor out and then they just playing music, rather loud, partying and things of that nature. I feel that's disrespectful because you're not showing respect to the other deceased parties that's there.
Exactly.
Okay, so could it be that people look at a form of disrespect of a grave based upon the intention of what they're doing? Like, for instance, you mentioned, urinating on someone's grave. That urinating on someone who's alive,
That's disrespect.
that's bad intentions. Digging graffiti and vandalizing, someone's grave. If you did vandalize a house, that was bad intentions. You had bad intentions to do that. So could it be that what makes it comes across as disrespectful is based upon your actual intent? So if you're visiting your buddy's grave and you know you and your buddy used to drink all the time, and everybody saw Cooley High.
Yeah.
Everybody saw the end of Cooley High.
Yeah.
Everybody saw what Preach did for Coach Chief.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I'm going to keep it a buck. I thought it was cool.
I did.
Well, they was drinking buddies.
They was
you
drinking
know?
buddies.
That's the
And-
point
and-
I'm trying to make.
Right.
You got a point. That's why I said it's
So the intention behind it,
respectful.
could it be that what makes it disrespectful is
Yeah.
the actual intent?
It's the actual intent.
Now, K Money, you did mention the other grave sites there. So I can see how one could, look at it like, man, that's kind of disrespectful. I
Yeah,
can actually see that.
graveyards are normally quiet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peaceful.
Peaceful.
Well, you gonna disturb the peace.
you definitely doing something for playing some ratchet ass music.
So with that being said,
Yeah.
K Money, I know that you and I, we watch a lot of news, world news. Did you see where Donald Trump desecrated the soldiers' grave? Do you think that he actually disrespected?
Yeah.
Oh wow, I didn't.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I think he disrespectful anytime he opened his mouth. Shit.
That is the truth.
That's a topic for another conversation.
That is
Topic for another
definitely
conversation. I like that. All right, now I'm blaming it on people who coming to the graves. Now I'm going to switch it now, and these are the people that have passed on, and they've had request things to be placed on their grave, maybe phrases or emblems or whatever. I find some of them disrespectful. Don't get me wrong. Some of these people are comedians. It's kind of funny, but it's kind of messed up to be. Now, you tell me. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Most of these are funny, but I still kind of disrespectful.
Now these are their wishes.
This
though,
is
so,
their wishes, though, but it's just weird.
Yeah, that's. I wouldn't say it's disrespectful because it's their wishes, but
we gonna go over it. And did you?
I know where you going with this, and they're a bit overboard with it.
So let's start with the first one. This is a comedian, Rodney Dangerfield. Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
With
No
his
respect.
with his catchphrase, I get no respect. Yeah, that's him. Rodney Dangerfield established himself as one of the funniest comedians of the last century. Hailing from New York, Dangerfield struggled for years as a stand-up comic. So when he died, he played in movies like Caddyshack, Easy Money, Back to School, back in the 80s. But when he died, he requested them to put "There Goes the Neighborhood" on his tombstone. Nah, okay.
That ain't disrespectful.
It gets worse. It gets worse. Do y'all remember Joan Hackett?
Vaguely.
She actually played in roles like Only When I Laugh. She got, that's on one of them old films. You ever seen those? There's a place, listeners, in the the Greenway Plaza area, and they play movies you never heard of. Like, they don't hit the theaters or box office. It just be no-name brand movies you just never heard of, and people be won Golden Globes Award. Well, this was probably one of the movies that I've never heard of. It's a 1981 film called Only When I Laugh. And this lady, she requested to put on her funeral, her tombstone, "Go away, I'm sleeping." I thought that's pretty funny. That was neat, but that's still kind of, it's aggressive to be dead. What y'all think?
Well,
Go away.
Those are her. First of all, those are her wishes. Right. Number one. Number two, I'm sure she paid for it, or her family. I mean, because she was an actress or whatever. So whatever your burial insurance and whatever affairs it coming out your pocket. Mm-hmm. So
you get what you pay for.
It's funny. I don't know. It's just weird to me. Remember Merv Griffin? Yeah. Merv Griffin. He was a 1925 to 2007. He was best remembered for his talk show.
Game shows, too.
Huh? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Game shows is a Wheel of Fortune. Yep. I will not be right back after these messages.
Now, that is funny. But
that's what I said.
I don't see it being disrespectful.
Is it? I don't know. It's just the point I'm trying to make is we see people jumping on people's graves, but we got to think about the people that are getting in the graves themselves too, because they saying they doing some silly stuff. I'm not saying it's right for somebody to be going to undigging, raving, and defacing and all that. I'm not saying that, but looking at the people.
Let me ask you this: do you think that this is a form of disrespect?
Yeah.
You are a celebrity. There's a dead celebrity, and average fan know where that celebrity is buried, and they keep coming by the droves over and over because they want to take pictures at the gravesite next to the tombstone.
Very disrespectful.
Now they're fans,
and you're doing this every day, daily.
Well, they're different fans. They know where this celebrity is buried, so the cemetery is open to the public.
Yep.
So we know where this person is buried, or you know where this person is buried. So I'm going to go, and this is my favorite singer or my favorite actor. And I'm going to go by the tombstone and take a picture. Kind of equivalent to if they were alive, I'm taking a picture with this person. Except that they're dead. So I'm taking a picture by their tombstone. Is that a form of disrespect?
It is, because they're not resting in peace. And if you just have to have someone you just gotta have it, I would have a set time. I would say, hey, Sundays from 1 to 5, gonna take pictures. But other than that, I don't, because you gotta cut it off. Because if everybody coming every day, that's disrespectful, man.
I think
because ain't nobody resting in peace.
Excuse me. I think for the mega heroes or mega stars, that's gonna be a normal event taking place. People gonna take pictures, whether they're in the gravesite or one of the other things, that they slide them into. I can't think of the name of those right now, but I think that's going to be something that people are going to do. I don't think, not to say that it's not disrespectful. And again, I think it's the intent, what would make it disrespectful. Now, if you come up there and you know that this was your favorite artist, let's just say Michael Jackson, and you go to his thing and you got on a Beat It jacket, I think that's disrespectful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm saying that because this was an item that he wore. He's not here to wear that. Why would you bring that to this grave?
Exactly.
And why would you put it on? So, I mean, taking a picture with it is more disrespectful than taking a picture of it. You know what I mean? Like seeing the tombstone. Like we mentioned Elvis.
Right.
You see Elvis' tombstone. You're a big fan of Elvis. It's okay to take a picture of the tombstone, but don't take a picture with it. It's different.
That's true.
I agree with that in regards to taking a picture of it and not with it.
Yeah, I think it's more disrespectful with it.
You know what?
But I disagree with with what you said in regards to like the Michael Jackson example. Yeah, wearing a jacket. I don't see that as being disrespectful.
Yeah,
I think that type of stuff is more disrespectful to the family than the person that's actually deceased. So let's say you have family members there that's trying to pay respects to their loved one, and you have fans that's interfering by doing what they do, then I see that as being disrespectful. Now, if they step to the side and allowed you to pay your respects, the family to pay their respects, then that's a little more.
I bet you I know where you're going.
Now, actually, I got one more question about disrespect, and it's taking it a little bit further. So, do you guys consider this a form of disrespect or great entrepreneurship in business? So, what if there's an individual that has a YouTube channel, and y'all know that YouTube, people can earn revenue via YouTube, and so these people or this person goes to different grave sites, travel to different grave sites to give you, they walk through the cemetery and, hey, this is where, and here's the grave site of so-and-so, and they put it up on their YouTube channel, and people go and view this channel all the time because they find this particular person interesting, that they can go keyword travel all over the United States to go to where these celebrities are buried. And then they put it up on their YouTube channel. It's their own camera and everything. Right. And they just go and say, and here is, and they'll tell you the story. So-and-so was the singer for this and did this and did countless movies. And while they're walking to the grave site, they're telling you the history of that individual. And then when they get to that particular individual, they say, and here is the final resting place of John Brown. They put that on their YouTube, and they get so many hits and so many views to where they're earning income. Enough income to where they're still it helps fund their business to where they can travel everywhere to keep doing this. Is that a form of disrespect, or is that great business?
I would give that to great.
That's great business.
If they're not, great business. As long as they're not giving the address of the actual address. If they say the state, okay, somebody buried.
They're saying we're at such and such cemetery.
Actual address.
Listen,
yeah,
we're at such and such cemetery because it's a public place. Yeah. I'm at such and such cemetery, and this is the final resting place of John Brown. Now, John Brown was a blah, 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 and he's telling these stories as he's walking to John Brown's grave.
I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm torn. On that one, I'm torn, bro.
That's a businessman.
It's business. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm torn because depending on what information you're giving up.
Well, he just telling them.
I just told you what information.
Depending on how much, or
I just told you.
I know.
I told you.
That's why
I gave up the name of the cemetery,
because
the state the cemetery's in, and I'm giving you the history of the person that's buried there.
I think if some of those proceeds don't go towards the estate, it's disrespectful. But I also feel that that's a great business move.
Yeah, he's a great businessman.
That's a great businessman.
And you know why he's a great businessman? Because it's public. You can go there. It's not a way that it's no. You can't. They can't make you not go there and take pictures. I think he's just doing something, and if people want to see it and they watch it, then he should get paid. He took his time. He took his money to go out there and do that. And if it's something that people are interested in and they're watching it, then you should get advertisement. And also, if he's not giving proceeds to, back, who do you get a proceeds to though? Who do you give it to?
Exactly.
This is a dead person.
You give it to the estate.
The bus is here. Gotta kick somebody off. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The bus came, man. Kicked us out. We got to get this person off this bus. All right. Y'all know who I'm kicking off. Gerald Goins.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
What'd he do?
To the listeners outside of Houston, who is Gerald Goins?
Gerald Goins. He was here in Houston. He was convicted of. Can't think of the name of the word right there. It was in my head and it just slipped. What's the word I'm looking for?
He was a crooked officer.
He was a crooked officer. No, but he was convicted of something.
Murder, man.
Murder. Yeah, no, not that one. The other one. You said.
He was given 60 years.
He was given 60 years.
Okay, so
for falsely accusing a couple.
Falsely accusing. That's the one. False accusation. Thank you.
He was on trial for murder, right?
Okay.
Gerald Goins is a crooked officer. He's on trial. He was on trial for murder. And the people that he did a false raid to, he lied to get a judge to sign a no-knock warrant. and they signed a no-knock warrant for them to go and raid the home of 2 people. Now, let me ask you, Comedian 96, do you have the name of those 2 people?
Yes. So Gerald Goins was convicted of felony murder after a 2-week trial in September for his role in the murder of Dennis Tuttle and his wife, Rogina Nicholas.
Okay, so he was convicted.
Yes.
For murder. Because you just read.
I did.
Murder.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And here's what's really crazy. For people that are here in Houston, there were so many accusations and so many other issues or instances where they had been pulled over by this police officer and they were either robbed, falsely accused of something, or taken to jail, just, uncivilized stuff that the officer was doing, which is why when being an officer, you have to really uphold the law. But this was a crooked officer, and he deserves whatever time they gave him.
Yeah. So he gone. He's off our bus. So with that, I got to give y'all one more, and I thought this would be a great way to end our show, and I bet you all y'all get this right. Mel Blanc, when he passed. Now, do y'all know who Mel Blanc is?
Pittsburgh Steelers safety.
No.
Don't know.
Mel Blanc, he's the guy, because you had, what's all of them? Walt Disney. Mel Blanc was Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, all them. In that little
That's all, folks.
He was the voice?
Yes. So what you guessed he said on his last thing, said it again.
That's all, folks.
It's exactly what Mel Blanc said on his tombstone.
That ain't disrespectful.
No, not at all. But with that, that's our show for today. This concludes our show for today. And if you haven't done so already, follow us on X at 52 Scott Podcast. Also IG and Facebook at the 52 Scott Podcast. Also, like and subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for Black Friday.